Alright, what's up guys, it's Matt, welcome back. So we have the case of some of the worst parenting I have ever seen in my entire life going on here. Some losers who've decided to sue the creators of Fortnite Epic Games for being as addictive as cocaine. You heard that here, folks. You didn't know it, I know, it shocked me too. It shocked me too that a game I play frequently as well is also as addictive as cocaine. It's crazy, crazy stuff. So yeah, what is this sort of bullshit going on here? Well, essentially, some parents who are obviously very bad at parenting have decided to try to go after Epic Games for some reason targeting the youth. God, there's so many flaws in this argument. It is absolutely mind-numbing. So let's break it down. So essentially, there's a class action lawsuit going on by a Canadian law firm on behalf of two parents who say their children have an addiction to Fortnite. And the law firm representing them, Calix, announced the suit Thursday in a statement that says essentially that they knowingly put on the market a very addictive game, which was also geared towards youth. That is the main claim. That's the lawyer says, who, I'm sure has a lot of dignity here going after a game developer. I know that's really tops on my list in terms of a career. That's really tops of my daily activities to try to go after game developers for making entertaining content for people to enjoy. Now, what's the flaw in this? Well, the first flaw with this is general media and content should never ever, no matter who they appeal to, be restricted. And this is the biggest problem, and that's why we have a rating system. That's why we have eSerb. And even if we didn't, if there is no gambling in this game, there is no reason why anyone should not be allowed to play a certain video game. Now, gambling is an interesting thing because it happens to be, of course, in America, illegal to those who are under 18. Now, in my personal philosophical view, I believe gambling should be legal for anyone, no matter how old you are, but that's irrelevant because if we're going by law here, gambling is illegal to people who are under 18. Fortnite has zero element of gambling in it. Any microtransaction, anything you buy, nothing in this game is remotely luck-based. When it comes to cosmetics, obviously skill-wise and gameplay, it's different, but when it comes to actual cosmetics, when it comes to real-life purchases with money, nothing is luck-based. You know exactly what you're buying. So there even isn't an argument here that is, they're ripping kids off, kids are using their credit cards and gambling, because no, everything you buy from the Fortnite item shop is set in stone. There's nothing interesting there. Everything is very straightforward. So you can't even make that argument. Now here's my question. What is inherently wrong with targeting youth? Books do it, movies do it, television does it, just about everything does it. But of course, video games, as usual, are under attack. And it's been going on for years and years and years, since the 80s, since games were even around, that games were targeting kids. That's something that people throw around constantly, but I don't see toy manufacturers being sued that frequently. But games, for some reason, seem to be on the tops of everybody's list as a target. So the parents say that Fortnite creates a chemical addiction in players by releasing dopamine in a way that is similar to taking drugs like cocaine. Now, obviously, whoever created this lawsuit did not know very much about it, did not do much of their research, because dopamine is a naturally released chemical that every human being at any given moment releases in their brain. Now, dopamine can be released from the most of extremes of like heroin and things along those lines, and released from taking a bite of chocolate. That is something that also releases dopamine. So the release of dopamine in gaming means nothing. That is a completely bullshit claim, but because they use some scientific sounding word, some chemical, people, of course, will jump to conclusions and say, rah, 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 let's ban Fortnite, even though dopamine is released from every single thing you do in life. People who are clinically depressed and things always have to work on, and, doctors will tell people that they need to work on, of course, doing things that get them to create dopamine, that get them to generally create that sort of happiness hormone. That's exactly what it is. So that's the biggest thing. Fortnite is just a good game. Whether you enjoy it or not, whether it's your cup of tea, you have to admit the game has been extremely innovative, extremely addicting, I'll give it that, and it's a good game. I have no issue with the game's existence. And I think that's the biggest problem here. A lot of people are bad parents, have no relationship with their kids, do all that type of stuff, and look for some scapegoat, look for something to blame that on. Now, instead of walking in and talking to your child if they play too many games, of course, let's put the responsibility on somebody else, because we're in an era, we're in an age where personal responsibility is gone. Completely gone. Any issues you have in your personal life, pin it on someone else, pin it on something else. And it's just amazing to me, man, to see that games are always under attack. So their claim here is that Fortnite allegedly worked with psychologists to make the game as addictive as possible, which I find strange because I didn't know psychiatry was an illegal occupation. I didn't know psychiatry was something that you could not get a degree in. I didn't know that, and apparently that's illegal now. And that's crazy to me because every company, any game, movie, book, song, anything you do, every company works with psychologists or analysts or business people who work on trying to get the most sales possible, because that's the nature of being a good company. That's the nature of not being a shitty salesman. If you market something towards kids, something that is addictive, something that is fun, of course you're doing a good job. You're doing your task. Kids make up a very vast majority of the consumers of entertainment nowadays. When it comes to even Netflix and things along those lines, as well as gaming and things like that. Which is just amazing to me that for some reason, by trying to make a game as addictive as possible, as fun and as competent of a sort of bit of entertainment as possible, for some reason that's illegal. I don't know why. I don't know how there's any basis in that whatsoever. The only basis I could see is that there would be something deceptive going on. But as I stated earlier, there is nothing deceptive in this game. The game is free. This shit is free. If you don't like it, don't play it, dude. It's a free game. The only problem, which again I said could arise, is if there happens to be any type of gambling, which is an issue all its own. But Fortnite doesn't have that. The cosmetics are extremely straightforward. Whatever you buy in the item shop, you receive. It's very straightforward. Call of Duty, on the other hand, they've gotten into some trouble in the past with their supply drop system being a sort of gambling, kind of money funneling kind of thing for people who just, you're constantly just suckered into this, spending thousands of dollars on guns that they don't end up getting. So Call of Duty do have some trouble on their hands. Again, I don't even have an issue with gambling at all for anyone of any age. So Call of Duty, in that case, I still will defend for this. Even though it's scummy, I'll defend Activision for doing that because I just don't believe that gambling should be illegal at all. But again, if you want to go on the technicalities, on the legal stuff, this is doing nothing wrong. Fortnite has done absolutely nothing wrong. But of course, we're going to go with this ridiculous, phony lawsuit in attempts to, of course, put the blame on someone else and try to get millions of dollars. So the lawsuit, of course, said that Epic Games should have warned players of the risks they'll face by playing the game, and the game company knew their creation was dangerously addictive. That's incredible to me because when, TVs were first invented, people would, get the whole family, sit in front of the TV for hours and hours a day, listen to the radio for hours a day. Anything that is good, anything that is quality, people automatically hate. And I think that's the biggest problem. The problem is that parents don't really game very much. They don't really know exactly what their kids are playing, what their kids are doing. So, of course, just use it as a scapegoat. It's a common thing, and it usually is done by people who aren't, in the loop per se, who aren't into things that are popular. And a common trend among human beings is to hate things that are popular. Why? I don't know. I think it's in our nature, but we love to hate things that are popular. I'm guilty of it sometimes. Everybody is, I think, to a degree. But this is definitely just overboard, man. This is completely scapegoating a game that has essentially done nothing but exist and be very quality. The game literally is good. That's why people play it. If people, didn't like it, people wouldn't be playing it as much. Again, a lot of people love to rag on it. Believe me, it's not perfect. But man, Fortnite has done an awful lot for the community. They've given away billions of dollars. Not billions, millions, my bad. They've given away millions of dollars to people who support the game, who play the game. They've done a lot of things right, man. A lot of things right. And people don't like that. People don't like seeing something that they don't understand, don't enjoy, or can't comprehend being in the mainstream sort of spotlight of popular culture. And that is why Fortnite, and I think gaming in general, has always been under attack. But this really just looks like some type of cheap money grab. The funny thing is that Fortnite is actually rated for T, which means that people only the age of 13 up are supposed to play it. Now, obviously, I don't believe in the rating system. I think you should be a good parent and watch what your kid plays, and if you deem that to be, offensive or whatnot, don't let him play it. I've been playing violent video games since I was 4 or 5 years old. Never felt that it's had an effect on me, ever, but most people seem to disagree with that for some reason. I don't really know why, but yeah, in the end, man, I think it's people just looking for an alibi, and this really is the problem with our society today, man. You know what I mean? People always are looking for someone else to blame for their own shortcomings. I would never have that issue with any family member of mine who was addicted to a game, especially a game, because it's not even a drug or alcohol or anything. It's a video game. It's easy, dude. Take the game away. Turn off the computer. Do anything like that. It's not hard. But again, people don't want to go through that aggravation. So while they, figure they could have some cheap, quick money grab right up for, their taking, they will go after just about anything they could do to pin it on somebody else. Just amazing to me, man. Absolutely incredible. Games have been under attack for years and years and years, and you know what? It just shows you that people really never will stop. People will never stop criticizing this entertainment until something else comes out. That seems to be a popular trend as well, doesn't it? You have books, which at some point I'm sure were viewed horribly. Then TV comes out and people say, oh, why don't you read? Then games come out and people said, hey, why don't you watch TV? So that sort of trend always happens. And it's just amazing to me to see someone who really should have no credibility, should never have a case like this make national news. Seeing this happen is really just infuriating to me, man. Seeing people clearly take advantage of a company. And again, I really do feel bad for this multi-billion-dollar company here because this is absolutely disgusting. With that being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really do hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you guys did, definitely let me know your thoughts on everything I said down below in the comments. I've been testing out where I don't edit the commentaries as much. I'm not sure if you guys enjoyed this, but I've been doing it to where I don't even do cuts, even when I have, sort of a speaking error or my throat dries up or whatnot. I like to keep things in to keep a natural flow. But you guys let me know down below in the comments if you prefer, shorter, let's say a 5-minute long, really snappy, edited video, or do you prefer me just sitting back, leaning back and just doing a chill calm like this. Let me know what you guys prefer down below in the comments. That being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching. My name is Matt. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, all the good stuff down below. Join my Discord. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.